Hello gamers, I'm Moldran and many people contacted me and messaged me, patch 1.0.5 is coming, Whirlwind Barb is gonna be destroyed, you need to reroll ASAP, you won't be able to farm quickly enough and so on. But I looked at the patch notes and I think people are being too dramatic about this. So here are my thoughts on these changes. Basically you have two types of players or I'm gonna talk about barbarians here. You know, you have bad geared barbarians and good geared barbarians. And the thing with this change is, it affects one group of barbarians much more than the other. And let me explain to you why. So let's say you have a barbarian with gear worth 10 or 50 million, even up to 50 million. That's what I consider not top-notch gear. And those barbarians are receiving a big nerf and big hit. Why is this so? Blizzard is nerfing the proc rate of sprint tornadoes from Run Like the Wind, and they are responsible for a lot of the life replenishment, with life on hit taking on the sprint tornadoes. And now if they take less, those barbarians actually gonna have troubles to stay alive, which is really bad. So if those barbarians wanna play like higher difficulties, monster levels, they're gonna struggle and probably have to play a different spec. Because this nerf is really so big for them. But you know, on the other hand, you have those top gear barbarians with, let's say, gear worth billions of gold. They're just rushing through the content, clearing Act 3 in super speed, you know, the barbarians that you see on streams and YouTube videos. But that's only a small percentage of barbarians. Like most barbarians, I think, are in the less than 50 million gold or even less than 100 million gold and have substantially worse stats than the top gear barbarians. But yeah, how is the situations for the top gear barbarians? They are barely affected. People are always saying, but your fury you won't be able to keep up your fury. I don't think so. Currently, you know, if I'm playing a single player game, everything dies instantly and it's actually not easy to keep up my fury. But if I join a 4 people game where monsters have more HP, it's actually much easier to keep up my fury and rough berserk. And I don't have any problems at all. So, but this nerf, of course, gives me less fury from the sprints, because they don't tick as often. But, however, monster power also comes into the game, and I'm able to increase the HP of the monsters. So, what I think is the increase of HP of monsters is gonna make up for the loss in fury gain from sprint. Additionally, Whirlwind is gonna have a reduced fury cost. So I don't really think I'm gonna have a problem with keeping my fury up, or even with maintaining rough berserk. Because if monsters have so much HP in players, let's say monster power 8 to 10, I'm not gonna have a problem with keeping my buff up, even if sprint tornadoes don't tick as often. And the second thing is life replenishment for top gear barbarians. Now, you know the top gear barbarians got 150k DPS, 200k, some even more. So this means that we can just shift towards lifesteal. And lifesteal is pretty easy to get. For example, you can get 6% lifesteal by just using a lifesteal pelt barbarian and using the passive that gives 3% more lifesteal. You could even use the Whirlwind Rune, Hurricane, or lifesteal on weapons like the offhand to get even more. And with 200k DPS, lifesteal is a big help. So lifesteal comes from whirlwinds, from tornadoes, from basically everything you do. But how is the situation for the, let's say, average geared barbarians or bad geared barbarians? Lifesteal doesn't matter at all for them. They only have 50k DPS, and of course, lifesteal with 50k DPS is much worse than lifesteal with 200k DPS. What do I think about this? I think it's a really bad change because it hits the people that it shouldn't hit, like people with bad to average gear, and the top players, they are barely affected. Like top players are still going to be able to run the spec, play it in monster power 8 to 10 and not have any problem whatsoever. So, but what's the reasoning behind this? Like, you know, Blizzard has a reason for everything. And the reason for it is Blizzard wants money, you know, they like money and they always want a little bit more and more. So what are they accomplishing with this change? Many barbarians like or love to play the Whirlwind spec. And if a barbarian has average or bad gear, the only thing he can do is improve his gear. Like Blizzard is basically shifting the players into the real money auction house or gold auction house, doesn't matter because gold is also money. and they like expect those players to buy gear so they can keep up and continue playing the spec and higher monster powers. So for Blizzard it's like a win situation because they get many barbarians that actually spend real money now to get higher defensive stats, to get higher DPS so they can actually make use of lifesteal. And yeah, I think it's a really bad change, but yeah. But yeah, to end my video I also want to give you 2 tips for patch 1.0.5, how you can prepare for it. It's probably still a few weeks until it, but there are 2 important things that you should do to prepare, and I should do it as well. The first thing is grind your Paragon now. It has 2 big advantages if you level your Paragon now. First, now you play with the original Whirlwind build, with the pre-nerf Whirlwind build, which is extremely fast farming and extremely fast leveling. Alcase got it in, I think, 2 weeks or something. We're gonna need more time, of course, because we don't play that much. But like farming now and leveling is very effective. There's another reason for this, is monster powers. Blizzard said on the website, you can change the monster power even in normal, nightmare and hell, and increase the experience gain. But they said after level 60, you don't get increased experience. So even if you play at monster power 10, you don't get additional experience for that. I think they wanna let players spend more time on leveling the Paragon, so they don't increase the experience gain. But with the nerf coming up, it's gonna be harder to level it. So try to get it up as high as you can now. Second advantage is Magic Find. There are gonna be a lot better loots after the patch because Blizzard is increasing the chances of 6 FX items, and secondly, you know, the other bosses with even better loot. So you wanna have as high Magic Find as you can. And Magic Find from Paragon is base Magic Find, so what this means is you can get high Magic Find and then use your DPS gear that you need to, let's say, play higher monster powers or beat harder other bosses. Yeah. Second tip I want to give you is try to get a Battle.net balance and try to save gold. I know it's really hard to get 250 euro on the Battle.net balance, and also it's hard to get gold, but if you can, do it now. And what really important, don't buy items now. Unless it's a real steal, don't purchase items now. Because with the increased drop rates and better FXs after the patch, new items maybe even, I don't know, there are going to be a lot of items in the economy, especially if you consider that many people are going to return to Diablo 3 with the next patch. And then is your chance to use that gold and use that money to your advantage and buy really sick items that you can use for PvP later then. But yeah, that was my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.